I'm Alex.
And I'm Maria.
And we're the new owners of Atlanta Home Theater, or you can call us AHT.
Let us show you how we live. Come on. So in our home, the kitchen is really the heart. This is where everybody comes together. We eat, we hang out with our friends, we drink wine. Sometimes you want to set a mood in your kitchen. The great thing about our integration is that our buttons are multifunction. So if you press and hold, it changes the lighting. It changes the mood. It brings it down to a nice warm dim in the evening when you don't want all that bright light seeping in. Or you double click it and then it turns off all the lights and you just have your niches highlighted. But if you press it one time, this is what happens. It's amazing.
In this common area where we are in adjoining spaces between kitchen, formal living room, breakfast room, we wanted to make something very convenient for anybody who was welcomed into our house. They would have everything right in one area. This is something where we can look at the different cameras on the property. We can control the shades in any of the rooms. You name it, it is all controlled right here in this main area. And the more convenient things are, the easier it is, the easier it makes life. If I want to turn all the lights in the house off, all I have to do is I just go right over here to lights, I click the lights button, and it gives me access to the upper level, the mid level, and the lower level.
Shades and shading solutions can really impact the way that you live. Our shades are custom. They allow privacy. They still let some light in, but the sun sets on this side of the house. It gets so hot, especially in the summertime. So what we've done is we've programmed these shades to come down when the sun is setting on this side so that we can keep the cool air in and the hot air out. And they're so quiet. The customization of colors and size, you can have it battery operated, you can have them wired in. So many possibilities that are completely endless when it comes to what speaks to you in your home. You see what just happened there? That is how you seamlessly integrate technology with your life. In our mudroom, we sometimes come in with backpacks and groceries and all the things, and we don't want to press a button to turn the light on. We just need to kick off our shoes and set everything down. We have motion sensors that Atlanta Home Theater has strategically placed to capture the movement as you walk in the home.
Everything just lights up. This is a celebration of you coming back to the house.
So another great example of having a motion sensor is in your powder room. Who wants to come in and look for a switch? It turns on when you walk in, use the bathroom, you wash your hands. Perfect convenience and perfect use of a motion sensor in your powder room. Coming upstairs, we decided to take all of our keypads and thermostats to match all of the walls and all of the spaces. They go together. This is an architectural metal. It is absolutely stunning and beautiful, and it has a great feel to it. The button press is amazing. It does what you need it to do.
And we decided to go with white because, I mean, what better thing to have when you have little kids and a bunch of white walls, right?
Yeah. All right. So now we're in the nursery. A lot of people love natural light. So it's important that your natural light doesn't compete with your TV. So we have an anti-glare TV here. You get all picture, no reflection.
You know what? There's one thing I have to highlight.
Okay.
Hey, Josh, lower the shades, turn the lights off. Being able to speak in natural, clean language, as if you're talking to a person or maybe a personal assistant, to allow for these actions to happen is a very powerful thing.
Another good feature about this room is our keypad here. We have different scenes programmed, our on, our off, our shades, our good night button, a relaxation button, and a music button. Each child's room, they're able to control it. We've got pictures for them if they can't read, and they can control the rooms themselves. No matter what language you speak, whether it be Spanish, French, Portuguese, English, you know how to control this room based off of the graphics on the keypad. Welcome to the master bedroom. This is one of our favorite spaces in the home because it's our room.
The experience is key. So when we had first moved in this home, we wanted to experience outside, but I must admit, I'm not a really big fan of bugs, and who's a fan of mosquitoes or bees? We went ahead and installed this exterior screen so that way we could still enjoy that outdoor living and also give us that extra added layer of protection. Another feature that I really like in this room is we have this 97-inch TV. I mean, this thing is huge. But what's most important is the profile of the TV and how close to the wall we're able to actually get our TVs. This TV in particular has what we call a no gap wall mount. So that way you can get the TV as close as possible to the wall so it feels like a piece of art that's on the wall. It's not something that protrudes into the room that people walk into. You know, when you walk into the room, you don't even notice it's there until you turn it on.
One amazing thing that Atlanta Home Theater can do for you is create the best experience in your master bathroom. In here we have distributed audio inside the shower as well as over each vanity. So as you're getting ready, whether it be from the shower to the sink, it's a seamless experience of music that you don't lose from one space to the next. Atlanta Home Theater built a room within a room. This theater is decoupled from the rest of our home. You're not getting bass reverb throughout the house. What's happening inside of the theater is not happening in the rest of the house. Our kids can sleep on the 3rd floor and we can enjoy an action movie without any interruptions. So let's take a look inside and we can talk a little bit more in detail about what we did. Starting with the door itself, this door is about 400 pounds. It is a solid core wood door. There's multi-points of insulation to seal the door to allow sound to stay in and not to get out. Also to allow sound to stay out and not to get in.
So during construction, we used a lot of different methods to make sure to keep the room very, very quiet. If you actually look at this whole seal, this is how deep the actual room is. So we've actually got a little bit more than 20 inches of space from wall to wall.
I was very involved in the build process of this room. From here to here, you have a stud bay. From here to here, you have another set of studs that don't connect to this room, which is the rest of the house. You've got your speakers that are a certain depth. So we have to inset those. So everything is happening around the entire room within this space here.
We had this opportunity to do something fun before the actual projector started up. Our projectors, some of them can take a little over a minute as they're warming up to actually turn on, get the lasers ready, get them all fired up. During that time, why don't we do something fun for our family, for the kids, and do a light show? Something that was very vibrant, energetic, and fun to keep everybody occupied and everybody excited about what was yet to come.
The inspiration behind this was actually more of like a luxury vehicle. We wanted it to feel like something that was so elevated that you've never seen a design like that before.
For so long, when people think about home cinema, what they think about really is commercial cinema. You've got leather chairs and you've got these big dividers, and it just doesn't feel like home. So we wanted to play with different types of suede and different colors that would really set it apart from what you would typically get. In a lot of theaters, you see the speakers out. You'll notice in this room, you don't see any speakers, no subwoofers, nothing. We didn't want to show the equipment because you get a better sense of immersion when you don't see anything, when you can focus just on the movie and being part of it. In each one of these bays, you have a speaker behind the bay. And then you have 3 speakers behind the actual screen itself. So we actually, in this room, we have 11 what they call bed layer speakers. And what a bed layer speaker is, think about how maybe if you had a car going around a track and you were right in the middle of the track, those are your bed layer speakers, right? In this room, we also have 6 what we call Atmos speakers. Picture a helicopter flying above your head. That's what those Atmos speakers are doing. And just to give a lot more fullness, we have 6 subwoofers in here that gives you that bass, that gives you that pound that you're looking for. We have 2 double 18s right behind the screen. In the back of the room, we actually have 2 32s, and 2 more double 18s because we're trying to pressurize the room. We want to have enough bass to where you can feel it and nothing has to work really hard. Everything can work very efficiently.
When you're building a room within a room and you have that much sound and that much bass, the walls themselves flex and bow to absorb that sound from those subs that you hear.
There was a lot of intentionality behind this space though. So if you notice, we have these very dark black velvet fabric. And we did that because what happens in cinema is you have all this light that's reflected off the screen. And what happens is it bounces off the wall. And when it bounces off the wall, it doesn't have anywhere to go and it ends up washing some of the screen back out. So what we decided was we can absorb all that additional light so we can keep all the light on the screen without washing it out. A lot of projectors, they suffer because they don't have enough brightness to put on the screen to fight any ambient light. We want to make sure that whatever light is coming off the screen doesn't get reflected back onto the screen.
It is a certain percentage of the room that we just make absolute black. From that point, everything else is design. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on our journey and enjoying our home.
And we're just scratching the surface of what we do, especially when it comes to building dream home theaters or experience rooms. Please visit us at atlantahometheater.com, and we would love to be a big part of your dream theater or any automation that you're doing in your house. We'd love to be a part of your home.